I knew from the maiden flight of the Sportix that this was going to be one of my favorite planes, if not my favorite daily flyer. And since then, we've featured it on the channel a second time, confirming that this is my favorite daily flyer. So when given the choice, no new models are out, at least worthy of being on the channel right now, I wanted to repeat something to fly, and that's this. And it's funny because I'm in Facebook groups and forums and stuff, and there, believe it or not, there are a few people that don't watch our videos. I don't know why, but they maybe don't. And they'll say, I found the coolest plane ever, the Sportix. It's my new favorite daily flyer. Well, I told you the first time we flew it on day one release. Reason to subscribe. So a lot of people are agreeing this is a great daily flyer. Now, it's about 15 degrees Fahrenheit out now, so Abby and I are bundled up as much as we possibly can be. She's on the tail end of whatever sickness she had, so we just want to fly this and have some fun. I brought 2 batteries, but I'm already starting to feel like this is a 1 battery kind of day. So
your fingers hurting?
Well, I want to talk about that. Yes and no. So one more thing before we fly.
You still have that old thing?
Well, hold on, I'll show you in a second. When we fly, I have found that fully covered gloves are pretty horrible to be able to feel the sticks and switches. So I fly with the fingers cut out. Now, they sell gloves like this, and if you're interested, we'll link some in the description box below. I actually like the ones that have these pads. I have pretty good grip on my transmitter, and then I actually can feel the sticks. That's good for about a flight or 2, and then I'm cold, I'm ready to get warmed up. So that's a good option, but I remembered I had this big old bag of wool. Believe it or not, this is designed specifically for flying in the cold. Open that up. Look at that soft wool inside. Okay.
Hilarious.
I think I want to try flying like this today. It's been forever. Now, this is very nice on a windy day. There you go.
Got to be smarter than the bag.
Yeah, well, I never said I was. Okay, so that's topped off, right? That seals at the top. Now some of these, they make the little panel to see through. Now it's not insulated as well, but at least you can see. I don't look at my transmitter while I'm flying like that. So I kind of wish mine was fully insulated. It's just kind of flying by feeling. But man, that's nice. And if you want an extra level of warmth, I mean, look at that. That goes right up to my sleeves of my coat.
It's a snuggie for your transmitter.
It really is. If you want an extra layer of warmth, and no one, this is, I've had this for like 10 years. No one has sent this or anything. You know, I'm just showing you because it's a neat thing. You can put one of those hand warmers in here or 2, and then man, it gets toasty warm. So you're out here flying and everyone thinks you're crazy, but you're just out here basically a little campfire around your transmitter, which is awesome.
Oh my gosh, are you not done yet?
No. If they still sell this, we will link it in the description box below. So I love the pin that's on the back of this. And then there's a quick release pin for both wings, even though it's a fairly small airplane, so you really don't need that. Everyone agreed that the Commander was a great daily flyer. In my opinion, this replaces the Commander. It's a better sporty plane. I think people just aren't excited about it for some reason, but they should be. It's an amazing airplane. It has safe, it flies on 3S or 4S, and I'll be flying on 4S today.
With your bag.
My bag. It's kind of hilarious, but they leave a little hole there you can hook your transmitter out so you don't have any loss of signal. Abby, as you and I get older, I don't know if we can do winter videos. I think we're gonna have to start taking winters off from doing YouTube. It's hard. The lights look good on this. It's a great airplane. It's under $300. Bind and fly. Linked in the description box below. Oh, come on. That's a fully charged battery, buddy. It's pulsing. What? That's a fully charged battery. I'm dead stick right now.
What?
It's.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. Is it that cold? Can we not fly? It's
25.
Today? Wow. Oh. No way.
Right, he's changing batteries.
Woo.
Notice he's already ditched the bag.
Well, don't judge. It's a little cumbersome. All right, let's try again. Yeah, same deal.
Your batteries can't
officially
handle
too
it.
cold to fly. Wow. I want to try. I want to push it a little bit. This is what happens when you try to fly in the cold, guys. Wow.
I can't believe your one was just done.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. There's ways around this, and I'll give you some tips here after we have our very short flight.
Don't put your batteries on cold concrete.
Yeah.
That's probably one tip.
Now remember, I think the last couple times I flew this, it was brutally windy, so I've not had good flying conditions on my Sportix yet.
You're upside down though.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a fun plane, I'm telling you. It's awesome. I haven't even trimmed it right. Like, it's flying horribly untrimmed right now. But that's because I just haven't had good conditions yet. There you go, there's a nice snap. Now let's recover. You guys hear my voltimeter going off on the transmitter every time I full throttle it. Now I don't understand. These are the same battery, 4S2200 30C discharge, which is pretty low for this, honestly. They're the same age, same amount of cycles, relatively close. So you tell me, why did one battery perform so poorly compared to this one? At least I'm getting some flight out of this one. The other one was just completely dead. I've never had any issues out of that battery.
You'll have to check it at the house.
I will. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
I just had a little break right there. But that's why I was flying about as high as I was. Let's see, how much juice do I have left?
Oh boy. Where are you going?
Yeah. Pulsing motor, so it's time. Time to land. Let's get an actual smooth landing. We'll talk about flying in cold and something that you can do to prevent this if you want to have slightly longer flight times. But boy, I didn't expect this low of performance on these batteries in this plane today. Otherwise I wouldn't have even bothered coming out here, to be honest. I'm going to come around one time. I got enough juice to do that. I have too much up. Look at that. I have got to trim that out.
And it's snowing now.
Yeah, it's so cool. We are supposed to get somewhere between 6 and 8 inches soon. I've got to fly this on a nice day where I can actually trim it up, Abby. My goodness, it's just got so much up. That's pretty good landing though. I have power. Okay, so what can you do to extend your flight time when it's so cold out? You know, even though we're cold and fingers are hurting and stuff, you still want to jump out and keep the rust knocked off and get some fresh air and fly your planes even in the cold of winter. So I got a pro tip. All right, now that we're inside bundled up a little bit, I thought maybe we could do a little test together. And we're going to talk about what you can do to actually extend your flight time. Now I knew it was cold out, I just didn't know it was like that cold. I thought I'd get at least a 3-minute flight out of that battery. So we're going to test this one together and see what is going on. Why did that one perform so poorly compared to the one in the plane? They both got the same charge off of the same charger. They were both full and they're both about the same age and everything. Let me grab my meter here. That's still cold, but that is a battery tester if you're not familiar with this. I thought we did a video on this, but I'm not entirely sure. The nice thing about smart batteries is we can just plug in that to get a good reading, and that shows us all the voltage. Look at that, it is showing a full charge. That's crazy, and the battery's still cold. This is out of the car after we drove back, so it's not like it really got to warm up too much. That's weird. I'm very, very surprised by that, because not only did it indicate a low voltage by beeping on the transmitter, it cut out. I was dead sticking on the way down. That's reading 4.19 volts, which is a full 4.2 volts is a full charge per cell. And boy, I'm scratching my head on that one because I don't think I've ever experienced that before. Now let's look at this one. This one should be lower because we actually flew on it. So I wanted to leave it in the plane so you guys could see this was the second battery we flew on. And we're getting 4.05, 4.06 volts per cell. Now that's 75% or so, and actually this says 83%, so I was pretty close on that. Why do I talk about battery voltage per cell? People ask me that all the time, and actually people find it kind of annoying, and there's a big reason for it. You know, this battery, when it's charged, is a 14.8 volt battery. It's a 4S battery. Well, that's fine if all we ever flew on, ever, were 4-cell batteries, and we wanted to have a standardization across the board, right? But here's the thing. I don't just fly on 4S batteries. Sometimes I fly on tiny little 3S batteries. Sometimes I fly on or drive on a 2S battery. Sometimes I drive, by the way, these are the best candies in the world. Sometimes I drive, oh, you see my gold pile? What's going on there? Sometimes I fly on a 6S battery, and look at this. This is a 22.2 volt battery. By the way, all these are dead. All of these don't give me a single reading. So more to come from that later, hopefully. But this is an interesting thing that happened. Again, I'm going to give you a pro tip on how you can get some performance out of your batteries in the cold. But why do I talk about voltage per cell? So when I say a battery is fully charged at 4.2 volts per cell, that's a good standardization to know across the board. So it doesn't matter if you're flying on a 2S battery or a 6S battery or anything in between, or even an 8S battery. When we say our battery is fully charged at 4.2 volts per cell, that's a very good across the board standardization that applies to all of your batteries. So my 2S battery, when it's fully charged, 4.2 volts per cell. When my 6S battery is fully charged, 4.2 volts per cell. The storage charge for all of them is 3.8 volts per cell. When it's completely dead, you really shouldn't be flying any more than like 3.5 volts per cell. 3.4, you're getting pretty nasty low. 3.2, it's like emergency mode. So I like to talk about per cell because it applies to all of my LiPo batteries. So that's why I do that. Okay, what you've all been waiting for. Poor performance. Now I'm going to have to test this battery in some warmer weather or something. I'll test it here in the house. My radio's still in the car. But what can we do to increase the performance of our batteries when it's so cold out? I'm not telling you to heat your batteries up. I certainly don't want you to put them on something that's generating heat to overheat them, because that can be dangerous. But you can, you know, as long as they're safe or you're very, very cautious about this, you can, as you're out there on the flying field, keep them slightly warm in your pocket so they don't get really cold. I actually laid this on the cold asphalt, and that might be why it performed so poorly. That was a sheet of ice, basically. Another thing you can do is some race drone pilots will sit in their car and fly their race drone FPV while in their car, windows rolled down so you can hear, of course. You don't want to break any line of sight rules or anything with all your spotters, but you can keep your batteries warm on your dash of your car while you have defrost on, not on the vent, but just keeping them warm. That's Popeye crying because he can hear me talking. And so the pro tip here is to keep your batteries just slightly warm. If possible, you can even warm them in your hand, in your coat pocket, until it's time to fly. Then when you get your battery out, it should be closer to room temperature, 70-80 degrees Fahrenheit or so, and it's going to perform really well for your short 3-4 minute flight. You land it, you get those puppies back in the warm-ish car. So I think it's because my battery sat on the cold asphalt to fly, but then again, this one did too. This is a bit of a mystery to me because I've not had, that's a bad place to put my airplane. I've not experienced that before. Generally speaking, if one airplane battery is going to perform like, you know, garbage, the other will too. So the fact that this one shows a full reading but didn't give me anything on the flight, completely died, and then I got a couple minutes of flight out of this one, is a bit of a mystery to me. So maybe you guys can let me know in the comments your thoughts on this subject too. Not the video I had hoped for, because I love flying this airplane. We went out and sought to fly this today, but at least it came home in one piece. We're not crashed, we're not in a million pieces or anything, so I'm grateful for that. But on the subject of gratitude, I want to say a massive thanks to God for blessing us with the time, the opportunity to jump in front of the camera and share this experience in this moment with you guys. I also want to say a massive thanks to everybody watching and let you know that we genuinely care about you. Hope you're staying warm and safe. We're getting some bad weather right now, so be careful if you're out driving, but we care about you, God cares about you, and we just hope you're having a great day. I want to say a big thanks to our Patreon supporters too, because we couldn't do what we do as often as we do it without your insanely awesome support. We'll have a very fun flight video of this because we didn't get to fly it enough in today's video, popping up right about now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye.